Hey, this is Jim. It's 3:17 p.m. on Sunday in San Francisco, California, May the 12th. Today, what I want to do is something a little different. I'm going to show you guys a group of people that have been trying to shit all over you, me, and the stocks that you own. The three stocks that they're targeting the most aggressively, it looks like AMC, GME, and Muln. Although they trash talk about a bunch of other stocks, the group is comprised of people who are sort of mentally ill, and I don't want to get political, but this is what it is, mentally ill Democrats that want to hate on anyone that doesn't agree with them politically. Also, you have a group of elites, which happen to be, one and the same. This guy is a sort of a Ivy League prick, like so many of them are, that are pissed off that this community has been able to sort of figure out their grift and their corruption. And I can't tell if they're working directly with Wall Street or not. This guy does some writing for Forbes and some other like freelance stuff. But the main takeaway on this guy is going to be what an arrogant prick he is, and just the hatred that he has for other people. It's just unbelievable. Now, I don't know if they're trying to just become, famous on YouTube and that's their shtick, or if these are just, rotten, disgusting, filthy people at their core. Either way, it's a really bogus route to try to take to success, and so far they haven't gotten much traction and have basically zero success. So we'll start off here with this guy, Tony Dong. Pretty sure I've heard people, I don't know if it's close friends or just the community at large, but I think he has a nickname Little. But here's this guy for starters.
Like, I cannot stress that enough. Because here's a brutal reality, baggies. Investing is a zero-sum game, and statistically, the average investor sucks at it. But somehow, you have managed to situate yourself on the very far left side of the curve. I'm talking like 3 standard deviations down. It is a statistical impossibility how badly you suck at this.
So that's that guy for starters. Now, just to give you a little more background on this guy, check this out.
Ladies and gentlemen, do I have a guest for you? Tony Dong. If you don't know him, well, you will now. He's pursuing his master's degree at Columbia University in risk management. Along with that, he's a financial writer for the U.S. News, Forbes, NASDAQ, and the New York Stock Exchange. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, let me welcome Tony Dong. Thank you very much. So tell me, what is this timepiece that you have on for today?
This is an Omega Speedmaster. This is the caliber 3861. It's the latest model of their Speedmaster Professional Moon Watch, which was the one that was worn to the moon.
Listen to this prick, right? Who gives a shit about your watch? Who gives a shit about any of this stuff? But this is the kind of prick this guy is. These elitist Ivy League pricks. Now listen to his next statement. It's unbelievable.
Definitely a classic among the Omega lineup. You can get this for about 8,500 Canadian. I got mine with the nylon strap because I don't really like the bracelet, but it's just a robust, fantastic timepiece if you're into the history of watches and horology like I am.
It's just a robust, fantastic timepiece.
Other than that, honestly, there are probably better uses of that much money. Get a car or something. But I've never really been good with my money, so hence why I'm wearing this.
Sure.
So he's never been good with his money, but he wants to shit on everybody else in the community because of what they're doing with their money. And then he goes out of his way to say, well, you could buy a car with the amount of money that this watch costs. Well, yeah, you could, but, it's going to be an $8,000 car. Anyway, you guys get the point. Complete prick.
Movement inside here. Is it Swiss?
It is Swiss. It is an in-house movement from Omega.
Beautiful. I'm on here, Casio Edifice here. Nothing to...
Yeah, who gives a shit? What a bunch of pricks. All right, so that's that. Now we'll move on to...
That is a fantastic one.
We'll move on to this. Now, what you're going to see these guys do here is this is the group of people who, want to, like I say, shit on everyone else in the community. This person here know nothing about this, mysterious. This person here, if you look at the image, you know what she thinks she brings to the table. And then here's our there's Tony the prick. Wait till you hear what he has to say about this. And you can tell it's completely political. He's a Canadian, by the way. And then here's our felt hat Inspector Clouseau in Chai Private Eye that we'll get into as we move through the rest of the video here. But listen to this prick, Tony Dong, condescending across the board to basically, the everyday person. You're going to notice it's politically motivated. You're going to notice they make fun of people for losing money, which, win, lose, or draw, go ahead and place your bet. But why would you want to go make fun of people whose lives have been decimated? It's just, I don't understand, that mentality. I don't hang around with people like this, and these people disgust me. This guy who's the, Columbia elitist authoritarian attitude, bragging about the watch, and then in a minute here, you're going to hear him talk about Polte in a really foul way. So I'll go ahead and play this and draw your own conclusion about this guy.
Oh God, yeah, that's the guy.
Oh my
who's wearing the
goodness,
shirt
it's a
that Pulte
Ryan
wore at a
Cohen
gas station.
t-shirt. Oh my God.
Yeah, Pulte wore the shirt in a gas station once and said something to the effect of, "I have Ryan Cohen on my tummy."
Man, I mean, again, they're fat cats fucking stacking their pockets full of cash.
In a gas station truck stop.
In a gas station.
Nice.
Pulte got sucked off at a glory hole, and then he.
Yeah, so he just said Pulte got sucked off at a glory hole in the gas station. I don't know if Pulte would want to have a discussion with this guy about that.
You guys think you should get $1,000?
A dirty gas station. It was like the dirtiest gas station ever. There's like streets of shit on the mirror, and he's just dressed like a trucker.
Yeah, so again, he's just dressed like a trucker. This little elitist, skinny prick from Colombia wants to shit on a trucker. Guess what? You don't eat your food. You don't buy any of the products you buy. Your life doesn't exist without truckers. You little scrawny prick. And he's in this video with a tank top on and those little pencil-thin dental floss arms with tattoos on them. The only upside of having an arm like that is that it cost him half price to get the barbed wire tattoo. It only has to wrap around 10 inches.
Republicans go at it. I go to the
and he's like
convention.
standing there like
We need to have like a PP vape cloud tracker because he blows some pretty fat ones every now and then.
Okay, we.
He needs to be a professional vapor after this brick goes away.
I'm telling him he should get a hookah. It's actually a lot.
So pretty boring stuff, but I mean, this tells you all you need to know about this guy here, Tony Dong. And as I said, that there's no value add in any of the rest of these people. Now, we're going to focus on this dude here because, he wants to be famous on the internet, and I'm going to try to help him out here today. Not so sure he's going to be happy with the direction this goes, but here we go on this guy. So this is his channel. Pretty interesting that, Tony, the fake last name, Tony Fernetti, whatever the hell his real name is, with his bogus cowboy hat and I guess a ukulele on the brick wall behind him, is in here with this guy, right? That's kind of interesting that Tony would be in here with this noisy Korax dude. Again, I'm going to show you the genesis of this felt hat and how many years it's been around and just the tremendous stench that's probably present in this little room that he's in. These two dudes, I don't know them at all. They kind of look like normal guys that I'd probably have a beer with, but so I don't know their motivation for teaming up with these two complete tools. But I'm going to let you listen to this video from this dude that calls himself Noisy Korax. I guess that's how you pronounce it.
Oh, we got Mike in the house too. Welcome, Mike. What's up?
All right. With that background wall you got going on there, I have to wonder if you're Ethan's cellmate.
So, right, with the background, I have to wonder if you're Ethan's cellmates. This thing's all about Ethan being in jail and how funny it is. And you guys know, if you've been following the comments on Twitter, that about dropping the soap and being raped in the ass and everything else, how funny these guys think this is. Ethan's out now. Ethan was released yesterday, bailed out, and these guys are going to eat a lot of crow and be really surprised the direction this thing moves in. And that particular, Ethan's incarceration here has nothing to do with AMC, obviously. These guys wanted to try to connect the two and also use it at the very least as a way to, make Ethan look like he's not a smart dude and doesn't know what he's doing and a kind of a loose cannon. It's the exact opposite, and I'm going to let Ethan explain it to everyone if he wants to in his own time, but everyone's going to be really, really surprised where this thing goes. But again, he's a very, very simple, tiny little dude. You're going to see how tiny this guy is in a minute. And those are the kind of people that think it's funny when other people have misfortune. In Ethan's case, this isn't misfortune at all. He'll explain it to you. But in general, these guys laughing at people losing money, this is the kind of dirtballs these guys are.
That was literally the best news I've gotten in the last year and a half. It was so entertaining to see it. I chuckled so much. If there's anybody that
He's already done it 6 times, so what's 7?
Man, oh man, have I been waiting for this for the longest time. Finally, this narcissistic piece of shit is getting his comeuppance, tripping over his own dick and falling down a flight of fucking stairs. There's a guy out there.
So speaking of narcissistic, this guy and his whole channel is about nothing other than narcissism. And wait till you see how stupid this guy actually is. Again, note the felt hat. You don't have to pay attention to the wooden doorknob on that door back there, but just the Inspector Clouseau coat and the greasy hair and the hat. That tells you everything you need to know about this guy, plus some of this juvenile nonsense in the background here.
No,
noisy
you
Corvettes,
get away
minimal
your
following,
fucking turn.
900 people.
Anyway, as I was saying, Ethan Levitz, who has gotten another one of his famed arrests, number 7, that he's oh so proud of. But before we can talk about why Ethan Levitz is sitting in prison over Easter weekend on contempt of court charges, we have to go into a little bit of story time. You see, Ethan had been already in court last year for making threats at an attorney, the district attorney of Queens, which is always a great place to start a story. Threatening a government official, A+ job. Because of this, the Queens district attorney asked for a restraining order from the court, and it was granted, which fills in some of the blanks in the timeline from when I...
So we all know now, based on what's happened to Trump and a bunch of other people, the J6 participants, and a bunch of other examples, that there are some dirty people in power, and you can either be a sort of pencil neck jellyfish like Inspector Clouseau and never question power and never push back and speak against it, or you can be a stand-up dude like Ethan, very, very wicked smart, wicked strategic, and try to, against all odds, challenge the authority, and he just might have pulled off something that will surprise all of them across the board. We'll see.
Originally reported on the first instance that kind of was the impetus for this arrest. You see, Ethan on his Twitter account had said that he was going to again contact the district attorney and mentioned that he had been blocked from the district attorney's social media accounts, which this explains clearly why this happened. And of course, Ethan, not being the most brilliant person in the world, went ahead and decided to contact the district attorney anyway, even though there was a restraining order already in place and enforced by court order. The best people and the best minds only at Project Popcorn. And naturally, all the usual suspects have come out to defend Ethan, framing it as, oh, the system is keeping the everyman down. Oh, how Ethan is such the victim, the martyr for Project Popcorn. When really...
So now this is when he drags me into it, and this is the reason why I decided to go ahead and give this guy his 15 minutes of fame. You're going to see this is going to turn south for him in a hurry as soon as we get through the rest of this painful video that he's posted here. But this is the reason why I'm involved. He involved me. And, you know, I'm a laid-back guy, you guys know, unless somebody throws the first punch. And then, you know, I'm going to fight back, period.
Really, he decided to make the active decision to threaten the district attorney, got the restraining order, violated the restraining order, and is now sitting in prison because of it. But really, this social media drama is not really what concerns me. What concerns me is how long is he going to be sitting in prison, because according to the records with the New York State Records Department for criminal charges, he is still sitting in prison because he has not made bail. And I wonder if he's going to be sitting in prison until his court date comes up, which makes me wonder.
He means sitting, S-I-T-T-I-N-G. He keeps saying setting and set, S-E-T, because he's an idiot. But that's what he means, sitting.
If he's going to be available for the settlement in the Antara lawsuit, which, oh my goodness, if he has to sit in prison while that goes on, I'm going to laugh so fucking hard. I can already imagine and picture the self-inflicted, indignant rage that'll be foaming out of Ethan's mouth if that situation comes to pass. But anyway, that's it for this video and the update on the current Ethan situation.
Okay, so now this is where things turn south for this poor bastard in a hurry. So check out this hat, right? This crumpled up looking felt hat that I guess is part of his, you know, detective, inch high private eye, Inspector Clouseau, Columbo shtick that he's trying here with the, you know, kind of creepy trench coat that usually child molesters wear, or somebody that's going to try to sell you a fake Folex watch or something. But check out the hat and the detail right here around the edge. And we're going to show the sad reality that this poor bastard's been wearing this hat for about 20 plus years. Let me introduce you to him really quickly here. I guess that's a brown nose. I'm not sure what that means in the comic world or the whatever this virtual reality world, or whatever the hell this is, but I know what it means in real life. I mean, I know what a brown nose means. So, again, guy, you know, whatever. If you grow up in a fantasy world, I guess when you're an adult, you remain in that fantasy world. I don't know what to say about this guy. Yeah. So this is your guy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay. Oh boy, his dad must be proud. This is when he started to grow his hair out, I guess. At least he's washed it back then. I don't know why he doesn't wash it now. In a minute here, you're going to see the origins of his beat-up felt hat that he wears. Anyway, these guys they're all the same. Oh boy. This was his effeminate stage. Ugh. Anyway. Okay. I'm getting in touch with the other other side there. Oh boy. Oh boy. So this is the effeminate demonic stage, I guess, the ram head stage. I don't know what it is. I don't know those rubber ears, but oh boy. Okay, so here's the genesis of the felt hat that this guy still wears to this day. And I can't imagine the stench of this thing. But anyway, so this is him as a younger dude wearing this hat that is his felt hat that he wears along with his Inspector Clouseau jacket. So obviously you can see this design on the hat, or this design element of the hat, whatever you want to call it, and you'll recognize that on the hat that this guy still wears to this day. What can you say, man? Same hat. I don't know how old he is, but at least, 20 years younger than he is right now? I don't know. Now here he is, closer to the age now where he stopped washing his hair, and again, the hat, man. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Yeah. I don't know what this is called. Somebody else out there would have to tell me what this represents. Not only the brown nose and the effeminate makeup, but then the horn thing, and then the ear thing. I don't know. I'm not a big cartoon guy. This was his Rastafarian stage. Well, there you go. That's the guy that wants to throw shade at real people with real information about real stocks. All right, so there you go. That is that. I'm going to wrap up with sort of connecting dots here. This entire group, you've already seen sort of the different names of people that are involved in this. And again, man, I don't care if somebody wants to be long a stock, short a stock, on the sideline, fine, place your bets. But if you grave dance and make fun of someone who has lost a lot or suffered a divorce or someone's suicide or anything like that, man, I will bury you any chance I get, because that is just some filthy, foul shit. So I'm going to now connect a couple more dots here. We already talked about the hat, so we've confirmed that. I don't know. I said 20 years. That hat's probably been around for 30 years. I mean, on his bean, prior to wherever this thing came from. I don't know if it came from a thrift shop and it's a 1920s hat, so it's over 100 years old at this point. But I'm just talking about how long this dude's been wearing this hat as his sort of his shtick. Again, a little note here, lint or dandruff, only he knows. But let me show you guys a couple other things here. If you look at his Twitter account, his X account, you'll see that he's constantly complimenting Sifu, or Sifu's complimenting him in posts. And then same thing with the, Amy, the one that says she's a hairdresser. But if she's a hairdresser, I don't know when she cuts hair, because she's on space calls all day long talking about how great Doug Sifu is, the CEO of Virtu. Sifu came at me. And what he did is sort of an FU, is while he was messing with me, he temporarily changed this picture in his profile to him being the Wizard of Oz. So obviously sort of alluding to the idea that, he's the guy behind the curtains pulling the levers. Pretty interesting. He does some reckless stuff, in my opinion, but he's a lawyer by training, so maybe he thinks that he is bulletproof. I don't know, but so that was something interesting. Here's where Sifu is making fun of me and the time and sales information that I've recorded and posted on YouTube, basically saying that I have a Commodore 60 computer, and that he was laughing at my drivel. Joke's on him at this point because of the people I've been handing stuff off to. Again, this is him with the Wizard of Oz. As a joke back to him, I renamed myself Grifty McGrifter at the time that he put this Wizard of Oz up. Yeah, Grifty McGrifter. And then, if you guys remember, Pedro, before he left, was banned basically from the X platform. He talks about the fact that Dirty Doug, the biotech spoofing scumbag, speaks. And Pedro's wondering why Doug is for payment for order flow now when he was completely against it years ago, prior to being approved to use payment for order flow himself, being able to exploit it. So anyway, there's your connecting of the dots. I think that's it. So you guys know the kind of buffoons we're dealing with here, and it really is a combination of, I mean, very few of these guys probably are bright enough to be approached by Wall Street and paid by Wall Street to spread FUD about AMC, GME, and Muln. But plenty of them are clearly in a cult, a political cult, and have that sort of insane, dilated pupil, glazed over eye look that a lot of these insane cult members of the Democrat Party have in their faces, in their eyes. And then number two, a lot of them, you can tell from the time they were little kids, they just have this sort of need to become known or famous. They probably were picked on and have, some kind of disorders that are above my pay grade to diagnose. But anyway, they're trying to realize their sort of stretch for fame by opening up a YouTube channel and going on all these interviews and everything else. You guys know I've never monetized my YouTube channel. I barely even post. Because I've never wanted to be out front. I just wanted to come in, I kind of accomplish what I'm trying to accomplish, and then be gone with the wind after that and go do my thing. That's it from my side, you guys. I'm real close to releasing some huge news on this thing that I've been kind of hinting at. It's something that no matter how much Wall Street wants to try to crush, they're not going to be able to touch it. And it's an opportunity, I think, for all of us to do something pretty interesting and probably make some strides as far as not only pushing back against this Wall Street corruption, but possibly even, and political corruption, but possibly even making a dent in it or ending it. That's it from my side, you guys. Hope Korax is happy with his new fame.